Sometimes you have to go a long way for a unique experience. For instance, there's a sand spit that juts out into Lake Erie that's only accessible by boat. On that sand spit is an exclusive hunting lodge, where we're going today for wild duck. Hi, I'm Lynette Louise, and today we're Cross Country Cookin in Long Point, Ontario.
Cross Country Cookin, brought to you by Campbell's. More delicious ideas in every tin. Good. And Sifto, baking soda, naturally. And Eaton's, good satisfactory or money refunded.
Welcome to Cross Country Cookin. Today we're going hunting for duck. Now, for those of you who are hunters, an excursion to Long Point, one of North America's most famous staging spots, a feeding and resting place for migrating waterfowl, well, visiting Long Point's sort of like hitting the winning home run in the World Series. But for those of you who are worried that sport hunting is negatively affecting the delicate balance of nature, we've got good news for you. We're finding that hunters and fishermen are staunch and dedicated protectors of our ecosystem.
All begins too early in a lot of mornings because we're up about 3:30 and grab a quick coffee, and if we're hunting down here at the Waterfowl Management Unit, we have to be over to the office at about 4 o'clock to pick our hunting spot. If we're hunting divers, set out about 150, 175 decoys, which takes half hour, 45 minutes. And then if we're real lucky, we've got 15, 20 minutes, maybe a half an hour where we can just sit there and enjoy the marsh and drink a coffee and enjoy the morning.
It's just nice being out there. The whole atmosphere being in the marsh, because the marsh is really beautiful in the fall.
Ideally, and if you're set up right, the birds, because birds always want to come into the wind to land, and if they're coming into your decoys, ideally they're coming so that they're coming right at you, so that you get the wind at your back, and that makes for the best shot and the best chance to get the bird.
Oh, Dave's a better shot with a shotgun.
I'm a better shot with a shotgun than Sandy is, but when we go out with a rifle, she's a better rifle shot than I am. Nice Drake redhead. Sandy was a natural. I mean, she didn't have to practice much at all and was a real good rifle shot.
If you miss the first one, you say, oh no, don't tell me this is the kind of day it's going to be. Have good days and bad days at shooting, and you say, well, either you try to figure out I didn't lead the bird enough, or I didn't get my head down on the gun, so try to figure out what you might have done wrong, and sort of you probably second guess yourself into missing the next one too.
What does it take? It takes two things. One is you've got to have some basic skills to be able to make the calculations of a moving bird and being able to shoot in front of it and so on. And then the other obvious thing is it takes practice. But if you've practiced enough, you'll get as good as your skills or talents will let you be.
Down now. Come on.
Oh, Chen's, she's been a real joy. She had tremendous enthusiasm as a puppy, but she was pretty hard-headed. But as she got older and wiser, like most of us hopefully do, it's been a real joy. She's never lost that enthusiasm. She's 11 years old, but just keen as can be. Still like a puppy in the morning, ready to go and not ready to quit. And but because she's gotten older and smarter, she tends to do a better job, and it's been real fun to watch her progress. Well, the dog's role is a very important role from a conservation point of view. And that's because sometimes ducks come down and they're not dead, and if they get into the weeds, that's when the dog really earns its cookies by finding those birds and bringing them back.
I have to love duck hunting to get up at 3:30 and 4 in the morning, because I hate getting up at that time. But when you come back with some ducks, it's all been all worth it. You know? You've been out, you had a chance to shoot. If you were a good shot, you got some birds, and you've got a wonderful dinner.
Hi, Dave.
Hi, Aaron.
34.
Yeah.
Got some redheads today.
Yeah.
Hi, guys.
Oh, hi.
How'd it go this
Hi.
morning?
Very good. We
Great.
got 4 redheads.
Great. You know, I'd like to talk to you about the conservation and long point and hunting and cooking ducks.
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
When we come back, we'll be with Dave Ankney and Sandy Johnson. Welcome back. It's not very often you meet a woman hunter. Sandy, were your parents hunters?
No, they weren't actually. My parents were vegetarian, and some of the people in the town I grew up in hunted and fished, and my girlfriend's father hunted and fished. So the first meat I tasted was game.
And did you like it?
I loved it.
You grew up in a lumberjack community, is that right?
Yeah, I was there for about half of my teens, and then left to go to high school.
What about you, Dave? Were your parents hunters?
Well, my dad was an avid hunter, and actually my mother did a little bit of hunting, but not very much. She went just, I think, to be with my dad, but he...
She was a great fisherman.
Oh, she loved to fish. But my dad first started taking me, tagging along with him hunting when I was 4 years old. So as far back as I can remember, we had fish and game in the house.
Well, so you probably don't remember the first time you tasted game.
No, I sure don't.
Kind of cut your teeth on it?
Yep.
So when the two of you met, were you already hunters?
No, I had bought a gun, but I had never had the opportunity to go hunting before. I'd been fishing a couple of times, but I didn't know anybody who would take me hunting.
She was a hunter just waiting for a chance is about what it amounted to. And of course, when I found out that she had that interest, I was really keen on that.
When was the first time you two hunted together?
It would have been 1977. We went to the first hunt I think we ever went on. We went up to James Bay and hunted geese up there.
How did you go from buying the gun to being able to hit anything?
Well, a lot of practice shooting clay pigeons or clay targets that Dave threw with a hand thrower for me to practice shooting.
At one point, I think she was ready to give up when she missed about the first 10, but then after she hit one, then, well, it all got better from there.
Yeah, you got the feeling of the reward.
Yeah, there were a lot of tears of frustration and anger at Dave for, how could you miss that? And,
Well, you must have got through it okay because you're still hunting today. When it comes to eating, what's your favorite waterfowl?
Oh, there's tremendous variation because there's 25, 30 species of ducks that you potentially could get, and the main thing that determines what a duck's going to taste like is what it's been feeding on. And from our point of view, the king of duck is the canvasback.
Can you describe the canvasback?
Well, it's a large duck, one of the bigger ducks, diving duck. It means it dives down in the water to get its food. They've got the drakes have a red head and a black neck and breast, and then they're all white on the back, and that's why they got the name canvasback. It looks like a canvas, from a sail, on their back.
Well, you're obviously avid hunters, but you're also enthusiastic about the area, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Great. Would you be willing to take me out in the boat and show me around?
You bet.
Let's go. Dave, what makes Long Point such an important habitat for the waterfowl?
Well, the reason it's so important is because birds from northern Ontario, Manitoba, Saskatchewan all sort of funnel down through this area on their way south, and they stop here for 3-4 weeks in the fall to feed heavily so that they can put on a lot of fat. This area, because it's a large, shallow marsh with a tremendous diversity of plants, provides all kinds of food for various species of ducks. And the other thing is that it's been protected for over 150 years, so it's still in a very natural state, very productive.
All right. Now, there was something I was told about a wild celery or something.
Yeah, it's called wild celery. It looks nothing like the celery you buy in the store. It's an aquatic plant that grows under the water, but it produces tubers that are like a little potato. They're about the size of the end of your little finger. And the canvasbacks in particular dive down, and they've got long, thin bills, and they probe in the mud and harvest those tubers, and those tubers are high in starch like a potato, and they make for great food for an animal like a canvasback that's trying to store fat.
I see. You're a zoologist, which I suppose
Right.
is one of the reasons you understand so much about this area. How does that affect your feelings about hunting?
Well, not at all. Actually, I am a zoologist, but one of the courses I teach is wildlife management. So I've spent a lot of time reading the literature on wildlife management and hunting and so on. And hunting is, as long as it's a regulated, controlled activity, which it is across North America now, is simply one way to use a renewable natural resource, because we have to keep in mind that these birds, the ducks, they reproduce every year. They produce new young, and you can harvest a certain percentage of that population every year and have no impact on the numbers of birds the next spring.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know that there's an organization that's highly involved in preserving the waterfowl habitat. They're called Ducks Unlimited, is that right?
That's correct. It's an organization that was founded back in the 1930s when there was such a serious drought in North America, and it was obvious to those people that what needed to be done to ensure duck populations forever was to preserve habitat. And the organization has grown such that it's now, I think they raise about $60 million a year and spend $60 million a year creating and preserving waterfowl habitat. And much of that work actually is in Canada.
So how do you cook the duck?
Well, Dave's the chef, the duck chef.
Oh, really? How do you do it?
Yes.
Well, it's really very simple. And it's something that it's sort of evolved over the years, and it's gotten simpler. What I use is a kettle barbecue, okay? And I put charcoal along both sides, get it just as white hot as you can get it. And I put a little bit of hickory bark on top of that charcoal, put the ducks on the grill, put the lid on, cook it for about 20 minutes. Take it out, it's the most beautiful golden brown, it's got a little smoky flavor, still a little bit of pink meat, and you can't get it anything better.
That sounds like the easiest recipe I've ever heard of. I'd like to try it. I'd love to stay and have dinner with you guys, but I have a previous engagement. When we come back, I'll be at the Long Point Company. Don't go away or you'll miss the boat. Thanks a lot, David.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you, Sandy.
You're welcome. Our
good.
pleasure.
It was only a short trip by boat, but believe me, we are about to set foot in another world. A world that very few people have had the opportunity to see. I'm here with David Walmsley, head keeper at Long Point Company. Can you just give us a little bit of the history of Long Point?
Well, it started in 1866. It was beyond that, but the government sold it at auction because it was being run over with people and hunters, and they were shooting one another and trapping, and they just couldn't control it. Like there was brothels, and the last few bare knuckle fights were held on the point, and because it was close to U.S., so it was sold to a group of hunters, which they formed the Long Point Company, and they kept it private, and they give 8,000 acres away to the federal government, and they kept 8,400 for their shooting for the ducks.
Walking in here is like walking into the 19th century. It's amazing. You've preserved everything.
Everything, the members, when they come, that's one of the reasons they like coming here, because it's just, nothing changes here. Just faces over generations.
So you yourself, you came to work here, at what age? What was the first time you
I was
came?
10 years old the first time I came to work.
And what were you doing?
Hauling wood for the places for the fall.
Well, you must have loved it because you're still here now. What's the history for you? And your father was working here as well, right?
He asked me to come and help him. That was 23 years ago, and I'm still here. He asked me to come and help him for 1 year, but...
So do you have any stories about your dad? Something you remember?
No, he was just a really good guy, and he was an Irishman. And there's lots of tales about him around the point. He'd rather fight than he would give in to somebody trespassing.
What makes it so special here?
It's like you say, it's the early 1900s, and it's still the same, and there's nothing here that's ever changed. So
But is the hunting so great?
Oh, it's pretty good. And it's the variety of the birds that the members get to shoot, because they shoot about 20 different kinds of varieties. In most places you go, you shoot 1 or 2 birds. But here, it's the sport of the birds, because they all fly differently, and you never know, what's coming into your decoys.
So what do you love the most about your job, about working here?
Oh, this time of year when the members come, it's most of the hard work's done, and it's just making sure everything goes right, and then the members leave pleased, and I think this time of the year is a nice time.
Mm-hmm. It's a very exclusive club. You have how many members?
20 members.
And do they all come at the same time? How long is the hunting
No, there's
season?
only 7 guns allowed in the marsh, and if you start pushing the marsh, you'll find out that the birds, they just leave and they go out, and there's no place for the birds to rest. And if birds don't have a place to rest, they won't be here. And they've had this rule for over 100 years.
Okay, now, I've been looking at this over here. Now, what is this bell for?
I'll show you.
Right on cue.
Now, this is my wife, Penny.
Hi, Penny. Why don't you grab a chair and sit down with us? So, Penny, what's your job description here?
I guess you'd call me a household administrator. I do the bookkeeping, I do the serving, and just try to make things run smoothly in the house.
So you do the serving of the duck,
Yes.
which right off the bat, I have to tell you, I've never seen duck look quite like this before. So can you explain to me how it's been cooked and kind of bring me through the process of how things are done here?
We have a big wood stove out back in the back kitchen, and it takes about an hour and a half to get the heat up to 700 degrees. And we serve 6-minute, 9-minute, and 12-minute ducks. And that's how the members like it, and it's how they've always had it. So if we've got all 3, we'll have 3 pans, and you put the 12-minute in first, time it, and then put the 9-minute, and then the 6, and take them out. And later in the season, they're fatter, and quite often they're on fire when they come out of the oven.
So, first of all, let me ask you, what's the difference between the 6-minute, 9-minute, and 12-minute? Is that just how
Just the
rare
time.
they like it?
Yes.
Or- So it's not based on the size of the duck?
No.
Okay, and that's it? You don't stuff it? You don't
we don't
put
do
sauce on
No,
it?
they all, even the 6 minutes, come out black on the outside and very rare in the inside.
Is this a traditional way to cook duck?
It is here. I don't know of any other place that does it this way, but they've always done it this way here. And this is what the members want. They have duck every night that they're here.
They say the birds here, they don't taste the same anyplace else. And it's not to do just with the wood stove, it's what they eat here in the natural foods in the marsh that we have. The ducks eat wild rice and celery and the other vegetation in this marsh.
So cooking it plain and simple like this just brings out the flavor, and what you're eating, you're getting duck when you take
You're
a
getting
bite.
wild rice and celery and all that. It's already in the duck.
Okay, good point. And you teach the cooks how to cook, is that correct?
When we get a cook here, they haven't done the ducks like that before. The members like them a certain way.
Texture.
So everything
So-
here is tradition.
Yes.
What is special about your serving process?
The cook has her own back kitchen, and then there's the center kitchen that we use in the summertime. And then there's a pantry with a little room off the dining room. And I never go in the kitchen. I wait in the pantry. And the cook prepares the food in the kitchen. One of the housekeepers will take the dishes off the wood stove in the center kitchen because they're there to be warmed. Take them back to the cook. They put the food on the plates, and then the housekeeper brings the food to me, and I take it in the dining room and serve it.
Now, how do you dress up the duck? I mean, this is very plain food. What else do you serve with it?
They start off with a homemade soup. So they have that every night, and I've made a peppered sherry over here. I just take the sherry that they have with their meal. It's quite hot. They put that in their soup.
Okay. What kind of soup is it? Is it always the same?
Oh no, different every night. That's up to the cook. The cook has quite a bit of leeway in the kitchen.
Okay.
She chooses the soup, And then there's 5 different fish that we serve. It's planked pickerel, which is what they had tonight, and grilled bullheads, that's a little catfish, and broiled perch, poached
Whitefish.
whitefish, and then we have Atlantic smoked salmon.
And you do stuff with nutmeg and...
That comes with the duck. When they, some of the members, when they eat their duck, they'll put, I have a condiment basket over here, and they'll put just a little pile of nutmeg on the plate and a little bit of paprika, cayenne, and when they eat the duck, they just eat it with that spice.
And they eat this duck every night that they're here.
Yes.
The same way. They eat it the same way every day, and they don't get sick of it.
No, and they always complain that they cannot cook duck at home and make it taste like it does up here.
That is so interesting that they don't want any variety. This is exactly the best way to cook duck that there is.
Yes.
Well, I've got to taste some of this. When you eat it, do you put mint sauce or you just
No,
that's
just
it?
eat it. It's rare and it's really good.
They have they have grape jelly. They have grape jelly with it, and then they'll have a potato or rice and two different vegetables.
You know, when you think about it, I suppose if you eat it this way all of the time, and you only have that 7-week window in order to do that, that you would start to crave it. Like, well, a few weeks before season, you're probably craving some of that duck and the whole experience that goes with it. Well, this is amazing. I can hardly wait to taste it. I want to thank you very much for having us out here, especially here, because it's so different and it is exclusive, and we appreciate the time. I'm Lynette Louise, and we've been Cross Country Cookin in Long Point, Ontario. And I think maybe we should taste some duck.
Cross Country Cookin, brought to you by Campbell's. More delicious ideas in every tin. Good. And Sifto, baking soda, naturally. And Eaton's, good satisfactory or money refunded.